kind of set this back on here, which is something close. Oh boy. December the 20th. A little story to get us up to speed about what's going on here. Last week, cousin Scott got out there with his bottom plow, turning plow like that right there, and started turning that land where we had that horrible soybean crop. And I saw him out there doing it, and I happened to be off that day and was here, and I said, that's a good idea, I'll go help. So after figuring it out again, because I'd forgot how, I finally got that plow connected behind the 4020. And plow was parked down there in the edge of the woods by that blue tarp thing laying there. And I couldn't lift it. Tractor would not lift it. And I said, that's weird. So I looked over everything again, and I said, that just makes no sense. Why won't you lift this plow? Unhooked it from the plow, which I didn't want to do because that plow's weird to get hooked to, but I finally remembered you have to use the adjustable link. You connect the link that's not adjustable first, and then you dial the adjustable arm or link into position. If you've ever seen a three-point hitch turning plow, you know that front piece is weird. So anyhow, I unhooked it and went over there and hooked to the seed bed finisher, and it would lift that just fine. And I could not believe that the seed bed finisher was lighter than that plow, because it sticks out further and it's wider and it's bigger and it's got some pretty serious steel on it, and you can't budge it when you try to like move it. So I unhooked from that and went and hooked back to the plow. Still couldn't lift it, but at least I got hooked to it a lot quicker that time. So I decided I'd go out there. It was about dark now, so I went back out to the field and I said, cousin, when you decide to knock off, stop by the shelter over there. I need you to look at something, see what I missed. And I told him, and he said, okay. So he came over here and he looked all through it, and he said, I don't see anything you missed. But the real value in what he did, he went home, got on the internet and researched it out. I think it was yesterday's tractor. Somebody with, and I believe it was a 3010 or a 3020, same series as this 4020. And the way that linkage was the same. And he told a story about shortening the linkage, and all the people commenting on it. And poor guy didn't have any more threads on the linkage, so he ended up going and buying a, what do you call that thing, a die. And he cut some more threads on the linkage and shortened the linkage and actually got his problem solved. Well, what I did was I called John Deere field service mechanic that I've developed a really nice friendship with. Told him what I had, and he said, go under the front of the tractor, loosen the jam nut, and turn that Allen screw in, which would be clockwise, about a half turn. If you get any difference at all, call me back. He said, the other thing that you might want to look at is the linkage. Of course, that matched up to what I had seen and read in that yesterday's tractor article. So this morning's objective, and I've already got the covers off, they're laying on the ground right there, is to shorten that linkage and see if it'll buy me anything. And so I'm going back over here now. I'm real close to being able to get the, let's see, what do you call that thing? Carter key out. It's tiny, and it's, a place in there where you can't hardly get your fingers, but I'll get it. And then I'm going to shorten the linkage and see what happens. So we'll be back in a little while and see if it's actually solved the problem. Now, the best I could lift this thing was about an inch, maybe 2 inches off the ground. That's how I was able to drive it from, or pull it from down there to up here without tearing the ground all to pieces. So I'm hoping I can get it to where I can lift it all the way up. All right, back here is where I got all this, the cover stuff off. And let's see if we can see it now. It's that linkage right there that I'm touching. It goes up to there. And you can see it move. When I pull that all the way back, that's where I would want full lift. And then that's all the way down. Okay, at this point, I managed to finally get the pin out, which is right there. and got the pin out, loosened up the jam nut, and sprayed that with some WD-40, got it loosened up, and I've moved that thing in 4 turns. So I'm ready now to see if that bought me anything. God, I hope this is working. Dear God, thank you for the knowledge you gave me, and thank you for the fact that this is now fixed. Let's see, got all the tools up. That's there. They're over here. All right, let's find out what we got here this time. All right, tractor crank. Okay, here goes. Let's see what we get. Yes, success. That's the way it's supposed to come up. Really, really pleased with that and how well that worked out. Thank you, God. Thank you, Cousin Scott, and thank you, Larry Deans. Yep, that's up now. True marker is going to be when I get that cover back on and see where that top piece is at, because it's almost supposed to be right at the top of it. Yeah, let me see what that looks like. Kind of set this back on here, which is something close. Oh boy. There we go. All right, something close to that. And there's a piece right here. Of course, you can't see it, I ain't got a camera over here, but I'll be able to see it, and I'll know that she's actually going all the way up again. So let's try that. Do not fall off. Well, I don't understand that. Plow's up off the ground, but that piece is not going to the top where it's supposed to go. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, see what it does. Set this back on the ground for now. At least it's up high enough that I'm going to be able to go from field to field without tearing places all to pieces with that hitting the ground. But it's still not going fully to the top. I wonder if I should shorten that piece one more turn. Yeah, let me test it and see what happens. Okay, this is going to be the second attempt. I adjusted that turnbuckle on that linkage 2 more full turns, and when I put that piece right there back on it and checked it, it looked good. So let's see what we got. I want it on video for future reference. All right, tractor crank one more time. All right, come on up. Yep, that's where it's supposed to be. I can tell by the pitch on it. Of course, if you get back and look at the tractor, the front end's sitting on a hill, so that's going to make it look different. But it's off the ground high enough now that I'm not worried about it digging in somewhere. And that, I guess that's an arm length. I know it's going back to where I'd seen it go. I've had this tractor 21 years. You get to know something when you keep something that long, how it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to act. But I am thankful to God for providing me with the knowledge and the information I needed to be able to fix this without having to go to the bank and take out a loan. Farming can get real expensive when your equipment doesn't want to cooperate. All right, now just figure out how to put all this back together. A bunch of these bolts, I think I'm gonna replace them. They're all rusty. Everybody, thanks for watching. Maybe we'll take one more look at it when I get it all back together. Unfortunately, it rained all day here yesterday, so I'm not gonna be able to do any field work. I would love to get out there and do what Cousin was doing and start turning this over, make sure that defective soybean seed don't sprout. This one will put it down about 10 inches. I think it'd be almost impossible for it to sprout at that depth. Beautiful day here today, just cold. It started off at about 28 degrees this morning. I think we're up to about 40 now. Oh well, let's get it put back together. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. And picked up a bunch of subscribers recently. There was a video, his cousin Scott and his Gleaner combine, he was shelling corn. I've never had a video go that high, but according to the analytics, picked up about 200 subscribers off of that. So welcome to the channel. I hope you'll find some more of the videos I put out entertaining. Come back and watch those too. God bless each and every one of you. Bye, y'all.